Without Walls is back at a new date and a new time. Every Tuesday, 10 to 11. Join in and let's knock down these walls together. Together, we can do it. So don't be afraid to call in. If it ever was a time, it's time is now that we need to come together, knock these walls down that's standing in our way. So we are back.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Bethesda House of Prayer. Bethesda is a church for non-traditional worshipers, a church designed for those who love God's Word. Would you like to attend a church where believers and non-believers can choose to worship together? A church where cultural differences does not get in the way of God's message. We invite you to be our special guest. Our services begin 9 a.m. on Sunday, located at 7601 West Bank Expressway, Suite B, Marrero, Louisiana. For more information, contact us at 504-348-0132.
Have you live, new time.
This is Keely Shang, and you're watching Church Without Walls on New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hello? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You are listening and you are watching Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. Yes, you can tell your friend that Church Without Walls is back. We have been away for a year, but we are back on the air again. And we thank you for listening, and we thank you for watching. Many people that have had close contact with over the last year or so, they was asking me about the show, when Church Without Walls would be back on the air. Well, we back. And we ask that you would tune in. And as we get the show back together, the show was designed with you in mind, our community, to talk about what's going on in our community. This show is a show that talk about things that probably many other radio stations don't talk about. They don't radio station they worry about what the president doing or senator, but we talk about everything. We talk about what's going on in the community, if your garbage been picked up, something happened at the sheriff department, something happened at the government building, whatever is necessary that would improve the quality of life and for our community to have a better understanding. How can we work together for a better a parish, a better community? And most of all, how can we come together and to show respect and love toward one another? Church Without Wall I always like to remind our listening and viewing audience that Church Without Walls is a show that is the name Church Without Walls. Why? Because we all are the church. We are the church. The building that you go to on Sunday, whatever the name may be, may be Baptist Union Baptist Church. It may be Church of God in Christ Church. But that's just the building. But the Bible said that we are the church. So everyone out there, remember you are the church. So we should come together and work together. And this is why Church Without Walls is on the air. We here every Tuesday now. We used to come on Monday, but we on every Tuesday, 10 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. Every Tuesday, we come and to share our view with you and discuss what's going on in our community and what's going on in the world. Right now, it's so much done happened. Y'all know the Queen Elizabeth. She gone on to be with the Lord, and I know over the weekend that been in the news. And of course, her funeral was yesterday, and I think it's going also there. Service for her is going on now, so we give our humble respect to the Queen family, and we congratulate the new king. Prince Charles will be taking over the throne, so that's going on in the news. And also in the news, maybe overlooked would be Walt Frazier. People remember Walt Frazier, great basketball player, that he made history. He is the first player to be in the Hall of Fame as a basketball player and as a Hall of Fame announcer. So I remember when I was a little kid, Walt Frazier that played for the New York Knicks. He was quite a player, and so I congratulate him for being a basketball Hall of Famer and a broadcast Hall of Famer. I also want to congratulate the New Orleans Saints. And man, it took them 3 quarters for them to come together and play the way that we thought that they would have started the game. But sometime I guess when the player doesn't do preseason anymore, they give the rookies and free agents an opportunity to showcase themselves in the preseason, and they hold out the veteran. But I think that may change because if you look at many teams that played Sunday, some of them they didn't seem to be playing together as a team. Some of them didn't. And the one that played, they started on preseason, I think, probably showed that the machine that the team was more of a team. But thank God that the Saints they was able to pull it out at the end, and my daughter, who loved the New Orleans Saints, and quite natural, her and a friend them was at the game in Atlanta. I know they probably were ready to leave at the end of the 3rd quarter, but thank God they hung in there. And I know she happy today that the New Orleans Saints win, and all the New Orleans Saints fans that loved the Saints so much, they was a winner. and everybody loved the winner. So congratulate again to the New Orleans Saints for their victory. And next Sunday, I think they'll be playing at Tampa Bay, so that's going to be a big game. But they got to come with their A game Sunday because that brother, old man, they call him Brady, is quite a player, and they need to be on the A game Sunday. So congratulations to the Saints on their win. And today, we're going to be touching on a subject that I think that is needed to be talked about. I didn't hear the news reporters. They used to talk about thing that they think that would make the news that people want to talk about and that people want to hear. But I'm a little somewhat disappointed in the news that the game between the Southern Jaguars and LSU Fighting Tigers, it didn't get the press that I thought that it deserved, and the two teams came together, and the two universities came together, and they worked together the way people should work together. And the reason why I know that they worked together and that they had to spend some time, they just didn't talk about it. They did something about it, about them coming together. Both schools came together and both bands came together. And this showed on the field that they had did some hard work for those two schools band to come together. Both schools have a great band. If you have a great band, Southern have a great band. Everybody know about Southern band. They call them the human juice box. Southern band done played for I know for the president. I know they done played in the Rose Bowl parade. They done played in many parades that they have participated in. They did something that that very rare happened. I don't even think ever happened. They played in the at the Los Angeles Lakers basketball game. You don't hear a band that play at a halftime of a basketball game. Normally they usually get an artist, something small, but you have to be something special to play at a halftime basketball game. Now, understanding that coming up in this year, the Atlanta Hawks basketball team going to have them to play at their halftime. So the Human Juice Box is outstanding band, and y'all know they one of the greatest in the country. But anyway, they was able to come together with the LSU band, and they put on they put on a show, and I wish that we could have seen more of the halftime, but I guess they don't have a limited time that they can show the halftime show. But one thing that they did show that I'm happy about is that they showed both bands come together, and man, they had to take some practice to put that together. They made the band came together, and they went in a form of a hard love. And then on the side of that, if you notice, they did 225. And man, the phone was ringing everywhere. Man, what do 225 mean? You know, like people calling up, everybody want to know that. 225 mean that both schools is in the same area code. 225. Many people that call Baton Rouge know that that's their area code. But seeing to me, the news medium should have picked that up, you know, and it seems like to me they would would have showed more that two schools come together, why we can't come together, why we can't work together. And so I'm saying to our viewing and listening audience today, I'd like to know how you feel about that. You like to get in on the comment section today, you can call at 1-563-999-1808. Again, 1-563-999-1808. Call. Let's talk about it. And we're going to take a station break. And when we come back, you can get in on the comment section. You are listening and you are watching Church Without Walls. Your host, Charles Stewart.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Bethesda House of Prayer. Bethesda is a church for non-traditional worshipers, a church designed for those who love God's Word. Would you like to attend a church where believers and non-believers can choose to worship together? A church where cultural differences does not get in the way of God's message. We invite you to be our special guest. Our services begin 9 a.m. on Sunday, located at 7601 West Bank Expressway, Suite B, Marrero, Louisiana. For more information, contact us at 504-348-0132.
We are back. You are listening, you are watching Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. We back on the air again after being away for 1 year. We normally used to come on Monday, 11 to 12, but now we're at a new day and a new time. We is on every Tuesday, 10 to 11, every Tuesday, and Church Without Walls is here for you. We're here every Tuesday to talk about what affect our daily life, and we talk about things that normally church people don't talk about, like we have a moral obligation to each other to have a better understanding toward one another, and most of all, love each other and respect each other. And I was saying before we took a break, I thought that the news should have been, the news reporter should have did a better job. They should have been more. I think should have been more publicity about the two schools that came together, both of them from the Baton Rouge area, and how both teams came together and worked together, and they showed what the Bible tells us, where there unity, there is strength. And they showed that they worked together, unity was there. And they showed at the halftime, man. And I know one thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a copy there. I seen some of the halftime. I wanna see it all. And I'm gonna see what it take to get a copy of the halftime show. I know someone that on LSU board, so I'm more than sure he could tell me how could I get it. So again, I'd like to say if anyone want to talk about LSU and the Southern game, you have an opportunity to get in on the conversation. Again, it's 1-563-999-1808. And if you would like to talk about it, I mean, the game certainly, I think the outcoming of the score, I think most people realize that two schools is totally different. One is in the Southeastern Conference, the other is in the SWAC. So the football talent is quite different. But the two schools, they play their heart out, and LSU clearly was a superior football team. But when it come down to the halftime show, the two schools come together, that they worked together, so they was equal on that time. Southern University band is the Human Juice Box. LSU band, LSU member, they got there and worked with them. I'm more than sure some of the young men from LSU band may not ever had did a bus stop and all that before, but they learned how to do the bump, the beef stop, and all that good stuff. So they came together and they worked together, and I just think that those type of events show that people can work together if they want to work together. And need more events like that to bring us together. And I was, like I said, I was a bit surprised that the local news media didn't pick up on that more, how the two schools work together, because, like I said, it took a lot of hard work for two bands to get together the way they did. And they worked real hard to entertain the viewing audience, not just for television, but the people that was at the game. And they had a lot of people at that game, and both teams were from the same. I think they was something like the distance from the two schools. I think probably made about 11 miles apart. The two schools. Now, I'm thinking, and like those two schools that came together on the same zip code, 225. I wonder is in the future, is LSU and Southern, would that ever be as one? Would those two schools combined? I kind of doubt that would happen, because LSU have a tradition, also Southern have a tradition, but it was so beautiful for them to come together and work together. And wouldn't it be nice if our elected officials could come together and work like that and show unified? Like they so busy trying to tear each other apart, and they don't see the need. They don't see they have the need to want to work together. And same as our people in the community, even the churches, they not unified. They got like 5 or 6 churches got they association. You got 6 or 7 other churches got their association. So everybody got their own. Some people like to use the word clique, but I don't want to use that word. Everybody believing what they want to believe, but I think that they work harder not to work together than to work together. And I think that the biggest problem that we have in this country, in this world now, is that we don't have the need, and we don't put forward the effort to work together. And if our churches and rest regular citizens, if we ever sit down and think about we got a lot in common, if we only learn to work together, that's all we need to do. I mean, we don't need to be fight, but we have problem with each other. Billy Joe stepped on my feet 30 years ago, and I'm still going around carrying that chip on my shoulder. For what reason? They don't know, and they don't know themselves the reason why. Why we can't work together for the better of our community. Do you know when you work together, you make everything better, you make it good for other people. You not only make it good for other people, you make it good for yourself. You make it good for your family. Your kids get along better, but the kids see us living bad, and we always talking about the other one, and our kids pay attention to that. And a lot of times, people, smart people, they'll pay attention. They pay attention to what you do, not what you say. And a lot of young kids are like that. They watch what their mother and father, whatever. Even if you notice a kid, when they're young, if their mother and father drink, do drugs, whatever, most likely their kid will do the same things. Now, they got some kids, I think, is anointed, and they don't do what they say the mother. Cause I know some young kids that mother and father on drug, alcohol, and they refuse to do that. Even the president of the the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, he don't even drink alcohol. They got a lot of people refuse to drink alcohol on the second date. I think the former president Trump, his brother, I think, was an alcoholic. And his brother did a lot of terrible things that the ex-president would say. He did a lot of mean, terrible things. And he refused to drink because of what he seen his brother did. So it's not that all the time a kid do whatever mom and daddy do, but I think 80% of the time they do follow the same pattern that their mother and father do. And a lot of the great basketball players you see come from broken homes. Father wasn't around, so you see a lot of them really dedicated to their mom. They well take care of their mother, and they very respectable. But sometimes it does affect some kids, some it don't. So, but I'm simply here saying today that if we could find a reason to work together, as the ambassador from Louisiana, and I guess you can say for the world, Louis Armstrong. If we could just work together, what a wonderful world it would be. If we just could come together the way Southern and LSU did over the weekend, be a beautiful world. We're gonna take another break, another station break, and we'll be back. But again, you are watching Church Without Walls, in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Charles Stewart. Tell your neighbor to make that call.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
FanView Live, new time, 12 p.m. each and every Thursday on the New Orleans Talk Network. Join me, that boy Fred.
G Sports in the building.
Coach Hurricane Hit.
Yeah, I'm woke. Elevate.
Ball game.
You dig? You dig.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
The wait is over. This is your favorite prophetess Chanel Jones, and I want to introduce to you my new non-traditional podcast called Kingdom Women Speaking, where you can expect a royal discussion amongst queens. Yes, Lord. And you can find me on New Orleans Talk Network. Tune in, world.
We are back. You are listening and you are watching Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. Download the app, New Orleans Talk Network. We come your way again every Tuesday, 10 to 11. I got to get used to that because we used to come on at 11. We had a new day and a new time. So from 10 to 11 every Tuesday, we're back on the air. We want to try to let our friends know that we are back and that we want to... They say in the church when the pastor, missionary, whoever, the bishop, spreading the word, they say spreading the good news. And so I just want to say to our viewing and listening audience, I'm on here, I'm trying to spread the good news about we need to come together, work together, and if we just could learn that, I believe if we learn to work together, show each other more love, I think it would help our community, it would help our state, it would help the world. Imagine if people show love and respect each other. All that gun violence that you see going down, people just, for whatever reason, angry, they mad. And they upset, don't even know why they mad, because my opinion, it's no love there, it's bad when a young man, one of my, if you listen to the theme song for this show, where's the world, what in the world going on? And this is what we need to ask ourselves, what's going on. But anyway, we have a call on line one.
Hey, what's up, Charles Stewart? What's
What's going on, my friend?
Man, I'm cool, and I just was giving you a highlight, listening to the conversation as it's being had. Yeah, and the whole LSU Southern thing. It's great to see. You know, good look for the whole entire city of Rouge and be around there. I'm sure everybody was pleased with the result, despite the shellacking on the field.
Yeah.
You heard me, but yeah, I think it was good. I think everything given surrounded around the situation, highlighted what needed to be highlighted. I ain't really think there was a lot of incentive for LSU to participate in anything like this. But the incentive for the city of Baton Rouge and the region of Baton Rouge, there was more than enough incentive. It made a lot of sense to do it. So why not do it? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I think when it comes to football in those two respective institutions, football brings people together in ways that other sports don't.
Right, I agree.
Two different alumni, and I don't want really make it about race when it comes to the alumni of LSU, but the alumni of Southern is more African American. Overwhelming majority of African Americans. It's an African American institution, and more like LSU. It's multiple cultures that go to that institution and stuff like that. So the alumni for LSU is well versed versus the alumni for Southern, which is majority African Americans that live and work here in the state of Louisiana. And I think the institution itself, Southern, really needed that more than LSU as far as exposure for the school. But to see those two alumni come together, and one alumni overwhelmingly being an African American alumni, this is clear indication that African Americans approach that face our community and I think the economics, when we look at the LSU Southern game, really benefits the African American alumni of Southern in ways that LSU kind of gave them a leg up.
Okay.
And we need institutions like LSU to do that for institutions like Southern, and we need other institutions. We need to see Mississippi State and Jackson State also take the same approach. Colleges like Georgia just won a college championship. We need to see Georgia and Georgia. Well, I think Georgia and Georgia Tech plays a lot. And so forth. With smaller institutions, black institutions in southern states, these powerhouse SEC schools playing against HBCUs in favor of boosting the economics for those HBCUs. I think that is to help building economics in the HBCU communities when it comes to all of these HBCU schools are located in African American communities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the revenue that these things generate for the businesses in these communities and institutions in these communities, they shed a lot of positive light on these communities.
Right.
So I think the LSU game versus Southern was so much bigger than the football game.
Right.
This is economics for the African American community to get excited about what's happening with the major institutions that we have in our respective states and the universities, especially these SEC institutions. You know, if Alabama was to come and play one of the most popular HBCUs in the state, we can just imagine it would probably be the same results in that area. Same that would happen in Baton Rouge. I'm not sure if there's a HBCU with a football program that's close to Alabama or close to Auburn. I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure that there are HBCUs in Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Alabama has 2 SEC schools that are considered to be powerhouses. Mississippi has an SEC school. Florida has an SEC school. Georgia has SEC school. Tennessee, and so forth. But the winning institution, the powerhouse institutions, that their alumni generate millions and millions and millions of dollars in just tailgating for those communities. That's a big deal for the economics in our community, man. And, Deion Sanders spoke on some of the rent-a-win situation with HBCUs and getting more money. I think this LSU situation has blown the top off that issue. And I think this SEC versus HBCU, when we talk about the economics of the communities in the area, has blown the top off of so many discussions that we can get insight and enlightenment on when it comes to SEC schools playing against HBCUs in spirits of economics for the community. And I think the leaders of the people who put all this together made that quite clear in the agenda for these 2 schools coming together. It wasn't about them not playing, and they both existed for over 100 years. That was a great narrative, but the whole point was to bring economics into the Baton Rouge community that benefited all communities in Baton Rouge. And there's a huge African American presence in Baton Rouge that's underneath the shadow of LSU. And putting those 2 institutions on the same stage, bro, that's a big deal. So that's of course the football teams are not comparison to one another. When it comes like this is why boxers get weighed. This is heavyweights versus featherweights.
Right.
So of course we're gonna get the results that we've seen, but everybody's a heavyweight when it comes to economics and the impact of economics in the communities, in the respective communities.
Yeah.
So this gives us a level playing field when it comes to the economics of things like this. To see over 300,000 people gather in one spot from the same community, man, that's a wonderful thing. And to see black and whites tailgating together, playing football together, supporting each other's music, programs. This pours over into the community. It builds community relations. It builds a better rapport with the business communities. These events allow different communities to come together and celebrate one common cause, and that's to embrace each other's learning institutions. Man, I mean, you money should not be a topic of discussion when we're talking about this.
Right.
The impacts of the economics should be the number one priority when we're having this discussion.
Yeah.
And for anybody who wants to try to change that narrative or make it seem as though this doesn't benefit the African American community, we need to make sure that people understand that this will benefit the African American community by leaps and bounds when it comes to impacting our business community, and our people who work in our business community.
Right.
We need to see this game happen more often. We don't need to see Grambling on the field because then that'll be two black schools from Baton Rouge getting shellacked. But I think we need to figure out a way to get Grambling involved with this program playing LSU. So that was just a joke, you know what I'm saying? But if Grambling could play LSU next, of course we know it's going to be heavyweights versus featherweights. And we need to talk about, smaller kids, less kids with less strength playing against kids with more. If what's going to happen if a heavyweight boxer getting them in the ring and box and beat up on a featherweight boxer?
Yeah.
That featherweight boxer go. So we also need to start having the discussion of these players actually playing against one another, because I'm sure Grambling is still licking their wounds. Yeah, they played and they gave their best effort, but I'm sure a couple of players on that field got nicked up, banged up, and got bruises. They probably wouldn't have got if they would have played people that was more on a level of them. You know what I'm saying? So we also need to start having that discussion if we want to see our HBCUs going up against SEC schools. And we need to make sure that the kids on the field is being taken care of as far as like health wise, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to these type of games being played on the field. But we need to get Grambling on the field next to play against LSU maybe in another 4 years. We don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't want to see UL playing against LSU because that doesn't really benefit the African American community. And I don't want to sound harsh about none of that kind of stuff. But the agenda is for the African American community. So I would like to see Grambling play LSU in football before we see UL play Grambling in football, even though it may be a better game. I just wanted to make those points. I didn't mean to talk so much.
But Carla, do you think that the press gave enough attention to this historical event?
I don't think the narrative was given much attention. I think that it was. I think the focus was on a game. The focus was on LSU losing the week before. I think the focus was on seeing how well LSU was going to play. But the narrative is one thing. The results is another. Nor the focus wasn't on the historical fact that, this is going to benefit the African American community. That wasn't the narrative. But they shed light on it. It was meant to, with the results of it, it blew the top off of discussions that need to be had. If there was any shadow of doubt that these discussions were hard to have, then, after this game, I think we ought to see some of the results and say, listen, we do need to have these discussions. We do need to talk about these players playing against each other more and the injuries that could possibly occur when these things happen. We do need to talk about HBCU playing against, not only in Louisiana, but throughout southeast region of the United States, SEC schools played against HBCUs.
Yeah.
And HBCUs being well compensated for that, because they need to hire better athletic staff and better medical staff to take care of players after these games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what is the economic impact going to be on the African American community? That definitely needs to be more reporting on that. There definitely needs to be more research, not only from the state level, but from the federal level, on how this impacts our business communities that's surrounded around these HBCUs. We need better research so that we can accurately have empirical data that's accurate on how this impacts the economics of these communities.
Okay. Well, Calder, really appreciate your calls. I mean, time go by so quick. The time is up for Church Without Walls today, but we certainly thank you for calling in, and also I know our listening, viewing audience enjoy listening to you explain about the impact that game had up on the African American community. And it's going to have an impact on the whole state and the whole country, so that people can work together. But thank you so much for calling in, Colin.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. You have a good day, Charles.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Well, at the end of another day, this hour been forgone, and we thank you for listening, and for those that may be watching. We'll be back next week at the same day and the same time. So we hope to inform you and enlighten you about what's going on in our community. And before we go, want to give a shout out to Tulane University. They 2-0 for the first time in quite a while. And they happen to play African American school also the weekend, Alcorn. And so congratulations to Tulane and to Alcorn for the historical game. So again, God bless everybody. And we hope that you have a great week, you and your family. May God bless everything that you do. And we thank you. We always leave the show by saying no such thing as being half dead. If you're dead, you're dead. Thank you. See you next week. Without Wall is back at a new date and a new time. Every Tuesday, 10 to 11. Join in and let's knock down the wall together. Together, we can do it. So don't be afraid to call in. If it ever was a time, it's time is now that we need to come together, knock these walls down that's standing in our way. So we are back.
I'm Prophetess Charlene Duforce.
And I'm Bishop Carol Duforce Sr.
And we're from Living Witnesses Ministries.
And we also have a program on the internet called Living by the Word Daily. And we're seen every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on the New Orleans Talk Network.
And we would like to invite you to tune in with us every Wednesday morning. Again, 11 to 12 noon Central Daylight Time. Please join us as we teach the Word of God. Thank you, and God bless.
God bless you.